The SIU continues to investigate after a man was shot by Thunder Bay police yesterday. Good evening and thank you for joining us. 58-year-old Daniel Smith of Thunder Bay, the suspect in the shooting involving city police yesterday afternoon, has been charged with attempted murder. Smith remains in hospital with undisclosed injuries after being shot by a Thunder Bay police officer. Brendan Miller joins us live in studio with more details from some eyewitnesses to the shocking incident. Brendan?
Thanks, Riley. The shooting closed section of Highway 1117 near Kakabeka Falls for an extended period yesterday due to the police investigation of the incident. We spoke with two people who were driving by at the time and saw the suspect pointing a firearm at police. This blurry image is a photo of the accused, Daniel Smith, on the ground after being shot by a Thunder Bay police officer. According to the province's Special Investigations Unit, Smith allegedly aimed his firearm at a city police officer on Thursday afternoon and hit the police vehicle instead.
He was aiming the gun at the cruiser, and we just freaked.
Connie Whitaker was in her car with her partner Josh Ryu driving back from a visit with grandchildren when they zipped past the scene along Highway 1117 near Pebblestone Road.
To go down the highway, we had to cross in front of that drawn weapon, so we didn't hang around.
And he was in full body camo, and he had a rifle aimed at the police officer. I was looking behind me to see what was happening, and the police officer jumped back in the cruiser and pulled a U-ey and parked on the opposite side of the road facing Kakabeka now. And he just waited for backup, basically. And by the time we went another 2 kilometers, there was cruisers coming flying.
According to the SIU, Smith was shot by an officer and was transported to hospital with serious injuries. There is no further update on his condition. OPP helped shut down the area around Highway 1117 and Pebblestone Road for most of the afternoon and evening, while police investigated what happened. On Friday, Smith was formally charged with attempted murder and possession of a firearm while prohibited. Whitaker and Ryu are thankful they were not caught in any sort of crossfire either.
So if he would have pulled the trigger, it would have potentially come through my car.
Brendan Miller, TBT News.
A 21-year-old driver from Canora has been charged for allegedly crashing into a police cruiser while impaired. It happened in Canora's downtown core just after 8 p.m. on Boxing Day. Nobody was injured in the crash. The accused failed a sobriety test on scene and now faces 4 charges, including 2 counts of impaired driving, disobeying a stop sign, and driving without a license. Thunder Bay Fire Rescue is investigating a north side blaze that happened last night. Crews responded to the fire on Banning Street at around 11:20 p.m. Heavy smoke was reported from the main and second floors of the home, and multiple fire trucks and an aerial ladder were brought in to get the fire under control. 4 people live in the residence, but only 1 occupant was on scene at the time of the fire and was able to escape safely. Unfortunately, 1 pet perished in the blaze. Acting Division Chief Kevin Anderson says they're still investigating the cause, but he notes the fire seemed to have started in the walls.
It was a weird one. It wasn't just like in a kitchen or something like that, but it sounds like a bedroom and a kind of the ceiling between the first and second floor. Next step is just to be in there and photograph and try to rule out different causes, right? So we can rule out smoking or electrical, or if we can't, right? So we just kind of go through the scientific method and look at what we have, what could cause the fire, area of origin, and see what we can find.
The home has been boarded up while the fire remains under investigation. Waterloo Regional Police arrested 2 people from Thunder Bay on Tuesday in relation to a stolen vehicle investigation in Cambridge that led to the seizure of weapons and drugs. A 43-year-old man and a 36-year-old woman from Thunder Bay face multiple charges after police discovered suspected fentanyl, hydromorphone, and methamphetamine. Officers also confiscated a sawed-off shotgun, 3 edged weapons, ammunition, multiple cell phones, and a reprogrammable key following their investigation into a stolen 2023 Toyota Tundra. Both suspects were held in custody pending a bail hearing. With December 25th now behind us, Thunder Bay residents are once again able to drop off their natural Christmas trees at designated sites around the city. There are 9 drop-off locations in total. 5 on the north side, including behind Grandview Arena, and 4 on the south side, including West Thunder Community Center. Residents are asked to ensure all ornaments, tinsel, and plastic is removed before dropping off their trees. The drop-off sites will be open until January 12th. After that, City Waste Diversion Coordinator Lee Amelia says they'll be collected and run through the tree chipper.
This is an important program because all the trees get chipped and brought back to the city's compost site. There we're able to turn it into compost. So it turns a huge volume of potential waste into value-added products that we end up giving back to residents free of charge every year. So it's high-quality compost that this is turned into.
More information about tree drop-off site locations can be found on the city's website. Well, the recent mild weather is a welcome arrival for many Thunder Bay residents, but for officials at Lapping Nordic Center, it's becoming an issue for their cross-country ski trails, especially with some major events happening there next week. Emma Chilton reports.
Even with the warm weather and a bit of rain, the trails at Lappy Ski Center have been very busy, and officials are hoping for more snow to keep the trails in good condition. The World Junior Under-23 and Senior Championship trials will be held at the Lappy Center from January 2nd to 6th, with athletes trying to qualify for the championships in Europe later in the year. If it rains Saturday, there will be a one-day shutdown of the trails. Owner-operator Timo Puris says the crews are putting tarps out and shoveling to keep the trails nice for next week's event.
Right now the conditions are fairly good. Luckily it's cloudy, the sun hasn't come out yet, but we are really hoping it doesn't rain tomorrow.
Despite the less than perfect weather, Puris is still cheerful about the situation.
So far we've had really good skiing. The trails have been open, sauna has been hot, the kitchen's been on with Finn pancakes. We're just hoping for a bit of snow and so that can continue.
The center has 14 kilometers of cross-country ski trails, 6 kilometers of snowshoe trail, and 6 kilometers under the lights. Even with the fog and light rain, the skiers we spoke to are still enjoying the trails as they train for nationals.
Yeah, we're going to be out here every day. It's every day that it's open. If it has to close down because of the rain, then have to find alternatives for training. But we're hoping to be out here, rain or shine, ice or snow. So kind of have to do what we got to do sometimes.
It's pretty fine. Like the air looks foggy and wet, but the snow is still fairly cold and firm, so it's still fine to ski on. If we get more rain, though, it could be less than ideal.
Emma Chilton, TBT News.
A Cloud Lake resident was embracing his Finnish heritage on Christmas Day by coming up with a unique way to play ping pong. Jari Kempinen cut 2 holes in the ice and put a ping pong net between them. Jonathan Wilson has the story.
So he said, you know what, let's try some ping pong.
Jari Kempinen usually organizes scrub hockey games on the frozen waters at the family home on Cloud Lake during the holiday season. But with the warm weather this Christmas, he came up with another idea for a sport to play. His future son-in-law, Jesse Williams, agreed to jump into one of the 2 holes cut into the ice for a very quick game of ping pong.
If it wasn't for the Finlandia vodka, this ping pong team would not make it.
So there's not a lot of things to do in the long winter nights. So we get creative, and as you can see, we always have a rink out here every year. But this year, for the mild Christmas weather that we're having, we thought we'd throw in another sport. And my son-in-law is his background is from Tobago, so we thought maybe we'd try some ping pong. He's always up for a challenge, and like I said, we had the mild weather on. We had the sauna. Family was over for Christmas, right, for a couple of days. So he said, you know what? Let's go have some fun. Like I said, you know, Mother Nature gives us this blank canvas, and it's up to us what we want to do with it, right?
Kempinen says he already has an idea for his next sporting competition at Cloud Lake, but he's keeping a secret for now. And he decided to climb back into the icy cold water one more time for a final message.
Oh, folks, it is great to live out here. Merry Christmas to everybody and happy holidays.
Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
So 2 very, very brave men, Haley. And that's maybe where the mild temperatures come in handy. They said they used to have ice rinks more out there, but because of the temperatures, they're now inside the water. So all the power to them. Absolutely. I would like to try. I don't know how well I would do, though.
Well, I'm very glad that at the very least it's inspiring some creativity.
Yes.
And yes, bravery is a factor as well. But I have to say, this truly is the best time to take that leap of faith into the water, as temperatures have been extraordinarily above seasonal. For example, our low was 1 degree today, and that's 20 degrees above what a seasonal low would be at this time of year. So that is a significant jump. Even our high of the day, 3 degrees, that's still 11 degrees above a seasonal high. So definitely not what we're used to seeing. It's something almost as crazy as ping pong in freezing water. Now, we did see a little water from the sky as well today, as we saw periods of drizzle and mist with, of course, a cloudy overcast sky to go with it. And our fluctuations with wind haven't been that significant either, making sure that we're not having any wind chills. We are staying above the freezing mark. So other than the precipitation, a fairly comfortable day in Thunder Bay. Now for the region, there was one place that did see snow instead of rain, and that was up in Pickle Lake on our map here. And they saw some light flurries earlier in the morning, but they've been pretty steady around 0 for most of the day. Red Lake's at 1, that's their high. They've only seen a fluctuation between -1 and 1 degree, and they have seen some freezing drizzle mixed with mist and fog as well, because they did dip below the freezing mark in the morning. They did see a wind chill of -5. Other areas, though, even warmer than Thunder Bay today in some places. For example, Canora, they're now at a high of 4, but they did see freezing drizzle earlier in the morning. And they saw longer periods than that of Red Lake as well. Sioux Lookout seeing more of like the light drizzle, not as much freezing. They are at 2 degrees right now, similar to Dryden. Fort Frances is overcast at the moment, 5 degrees. They are expecting to see more drizzle overnight tonight, as of many locations across the region will as well. Atikokan's also at 5, Upsala at 4. These are all temperatures around 8 or more degrees above seasonal. Armstrong at 3 degrees, similar to that of Greenstone, overcast right now as well. Greenstone did have a high of 4, and they did have momentary light rain, only for about 2 hours today. But Marathon, Nipigon, Wawa, they all were around the 4 degree mark for their high, and they did see periods of drizzle as well. Sault Ste. Marie, they are currently still seeing some light rain, and they're at 3 degrees. As for Thunder Bay tonight, we will see periods of drizzle changing to periods of rain, so increasing consistency a little bit more throughout the night. But we should still stay above the freezing mark at 1 degree, winds picking up slightly from the east. And although we're staying above the freezing mark for now, that doesn't mean things aren't going to get messy, Riley. We could see a little mixture of rain and snow in the coming little while.
Okay, and if I'm remembering correctly, last year around this time, we almost didn't have any snow, and it was raining. So I'm kind of starting to get used to this.
Yeah,
the 27th,
we might
26th.
be striking a balance. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird to have a new normal.
Exactly, absolutely. Thank you so much, Haley. Well, when we come back, the federal Conservatives say they'll set a plan in motion early in the new year to bring down the Trudeau government. We'll have more on that as your Friday News Hour continues.
We don't want Justin Trudeau to delay this with political maneuvering aimed at protecting his own political career.